Hey, everybody. Well, this is pretty hilarious. The dummies are really upset that the quote unquote trolls, or in a Russian bots, as they call them too, are bringing up something about the past of Kamala Harris. Now, despite their fury about this, and it's a fairly long thread, not once is the name of a certain it's the elephant in the room that they won't name, the political sugar daddy that dare not speak its name in DUmmieland. So we all know who that is, but as of a few minutes ago, checking this dummy thread, I haven't seen any mention whatsoever of this person, which we'll get into later. But right now, let's get into the dummy fury, starting with the opening thread by you dummy you at Sheet, whatever. You know what? Some of these dummy names are tough to pronounce. Okay, here we go. The trolls are already out on Kamala Harris. I posted on Twitter a few items about her from DU and got attacked by so-called Bernie bros. But I suspect they are really Russian trolls. Yeah. It's always the Russians. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. The Russians are coming. Something about how they type certain names in English don't seem right. Yeah. Something about how you guys type certain names in English don't seem right either, dummies. I have blocked at least a dozen people already. Someone told me to go back to my gaming and stay the F out of politics or else. Screw that. Blocked and reported. So let's go into the dummy fury over a Kamala Harris affair that we can't really get into any names here. They must be scared of her. Yeah, really. You know, I follow Scott Adams, the creator. He's a cartoonist that created Dilbert. This guy has the best analysis of both people and current events and political affairs. And he did an analysis of her announcement, of Harris's announcement this past weekend. And he said, for one thing, completely lacking charisma. Two, where she stated, that's not who we are. That's not a good message to be sending. That's basically saying we're not good. So that's not who we are. And then finally, she has the lamest campaign slogan, for the people. Yeah, right. Oh, yeah, that's a really catchy slogan. Okay. So now watch, that was he did that yesterday. So any of you who have never watched Scott Adams doing commentary, you definitely want to catch that. Very, very incisive commentary. Republicans are afraid of smart women. Known fact. Absolutely. Yeah, we're afraid. We're afraid. Oh, yeah, women. Republicans are afraid of women, especially women of color. Let's face it, there are still some racists who can't stand it that someone might be running for office who has come from a different culture or background than they did. She has Jamaican roots, and that might scare them for some reason. Yeah, right. No, here, watch. I got a new character. I'm Mr. Virtue Signal, and I celebrate the diversity. And Kamala. She checks so many boxes: gender, woman, and she checks 2 approved ethnic identities. By the way, if you like that, hit me with a thumbs up, and we'll do a whole show with Mr. Virtue Signal. Mr. Virtue Signal. I saw Hamilton on Broadway 50 times. You see? Hey, everybody, I saw Hamilton on Broadway 50 times. Hey, make sure everybody knows, because I believe in the diversity. Okay, enough with that guy. But listen, if you want to see a show with him, give me the thumbs up. Otherwise, the hell with Mr. Virtue Signal. Okay. So let's go. For sure, as much as they are afraid of electable Democrats, Electable. She's electable? Okay, and she's looking like both, judging by the attacks from the far right, far left, and far Russia. Yeah, Putin, he's in there. He's pushing the buttons. Get Kamala. Get Kamala. We can't abide her. She's just too good to be true, and the Democrats will win by a landslide with her. They just don't like women, period. They definitely are scared of her. I think they are right to be afraid of her. She's one kick-ass woman. Okay, so let's see. Uh-oh, sort of a naysayer here. This is not good. While Harris is impressive, will she move us forward in what matters? And we know what matters. Just defeat Trump. Everything else, forget it. Just defeat Trump. Please, please, we can't take it. Oh, God. You think TDS is bad now? Imagine what's going to happen after the 2020 election. I think you're going to have to roll a lot of people, and not just average people. I mean, major people in the gurney. I mean, let's face it, Jim Acosta, that guy's ready to be rolled away in the gurney right after Election Day 2020. Okay. Never Kamala? Kamala, however. Well, that would be a pretty stupid move. It is now pretty obvious that stoking a Bernie supporters versus Kamala supporters is a Putin's tactic. Yeah, Putin is, the dummies got this fantasy. Now that, because they lost, they have to have, in 2016, their excuses. The Russians did it. The Russians did it. Yeah, the Russians kept Hillary from campaigning in Wisconsin. The Russians, you got it? The Russians. Okay. I, too, think it's ignorant right-wing trolls paid by Trump. However, Teflon Don is going to Russian steel and shut the government down, especially border security, like the Coast Guard TSA again, in hopes of creating an international terrorist incident. Yeah, you got him down exactly right. From the left and right, and they are already slimier than anything I saw against Hillary, which means she's doing something right. I'm still not seeing, keep looking. I'm still not seeing the name that they're avoiding. I'm still not seeing it. I don't think I'm going to see it. They will be digging for more, but I doubt they will find much. Of course, they will try to exaggerate whatever they find, but I suspect Kamala will know how to deal with whatever's coming up. She's got the right stuff. Yeah, she's pushing the envelope. The right stuff. Yeah, see, now here we're getting close. Someone with a law degree appointed to commissions that paid less than 6 figures is hardly a scandal. So that means she could have been making $99,999. That's not bad bread. She would be more qualified for any cabinet position than any Trump appointee. You hear that? She's qualified. She's qualified. No sugar daddy got her positions. No one. Especially that person whose name we dare not mention. I think it was a Bernie Bros reference in your original. They don't like that term, Bernie Bros. Yeah, Bernie Bros. Come on. I mean, like a bunch of Neanderthal men. Come on. A typical Bernie Bro wears Birkenstocks, sandals, an aging hippie, and you make him out to be like some toxic male, weightlifting male. Oh, just a fantasy. They might not like it, but they used it in a tweet. The Bernie or bus crowd seemed to be hating on Kamala for some reason, sending me articles on how terrible she is. Most of it is crap, probably made up from right-wing sources who don't like a woman of color running for president. A woman of... Oh, yeah, right. Oh, probably. She's clean. Yeah, she's clean. She's had no no skeletons in her closet. No one is clean, but her skeletons are insignificant. I voted for Bernie, then Hillary. For me, Bernie had his chance. I've moved on. She has charisma, something not many have. No, actually, believe me, one thing about Scott Adams, he'll be upfront with the truth, and a lot of times his viewers don't like to hear what he has to say. But he had, you got to see his commentary about Kamala's real big time lack of charisma. I want us to elect a woman, but not just because she is a woman. Kamala fills the bill. What happened to Pocahontas, huh? Why are you betraying her? Pocahontas, also a woman of color, or at least 1/24th woman of color. Yeah, that's right. But she is clearly clean. You got it? Clean. She's clean. She's clean. And she's qualified. Clean and qualified. We aren't running any women just because they are women. Yeah. That's what her whole campaign's pretty much based on. I'm a woman! And I got 2 ethnic group check marks, boxes. Name the candidates we're running just because they are women. Name them. Oh, yeah, I can't think of them. How about the one that we're talking about here? Yes, it is. They are qualified women. Qualified. Oh, man. There's going to be such disappointment in DUmmieland. If when Kamala, or if she, at least with the nomination, if she flames out. By the way, usually the front runners always flame out. That's one thing I've noticed in recent years. Like, let's see, at this time in 2019, the Republican front runner was Jeb Bush. And then all it took was just the phrase low energy, just 2 words, low energy Jeb. And his campaign was derailed. That usually seems to happen. The front runner ends up not. In fact, you really don't want to be the front runner because it's like a curse, really. Oh yeah, see now they're bringing up. She was sort of a strict attorney general. She wanted to send parents whose kids went truant in schools, wanted to send them to jail, which might be half the parents of Oakland. So here, her entire history as an AG is troubling. That was a attorney general in California, also as district attorney there. How did she become the anointed one exactly? She sported the 3 strikes laws. Yeah, see, oh yeah. She sent parents to jail because their kids skipped school. So this goes on and on and on like this. Pretty much the same, just pretty much the same thing that they just, they're defending her in a big way, and man, they're going to have a letdown down the road. I'm telling you, it's going to be great to watch. Very entertaining. Break out the popcorn. But the funny thing is what they're really angry about at the center of it is the political sugar daddy that dare not speak his name in DUmmieland. Willie Brown. But don't say it too loud. We don't want the dummies to hear. Willie Brown. So that's, you know what? I could go on and on. You could easily find any. I mean, there's plenty of Kamala Harris's threads on in DUmmieland on this, avoiding the you-know-who. So, you know what? Yeah, they're talking about it. See, there's nothing new. Come on, dummies, you got to get a little original. I'm getting a little bored with you guys. You said, and you just keep repeating what all the others are. So, you know what? I'm going to do something. I'm going to call it, we're done. And remember, The one name you don't want to say in front of a dummy is Willie Brown. Willie Brown. So long for now. See you very, very soon.